I'm so glad to be back here with the team from Indigo Living to bring you the most inspiring stories from the region. Female leaders, philanthropists, business owners, small and big, all here to share their story to inspire you and inspire me. Today, well, you're going to have to get your engines revving for this one. Fast cars, supercars. A woman who has changed stereotypes, not just regionally, but globally. She's made an incredible impact in the automotive space, as well as females who have a passion for driving cars. Please welcome my favorite guest, Hanan Sobatti. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Rosemin.
It's been a pretty interesting summer. I'm going to just acknowledge that right now because I know we haven't seen each other in months, and I'm so happy that this is kind of our first stop is on the set here. How has the past few months been for you as a family and just your own personal space?
Well, listen, honestly, I have no complaints. I feel I have no right to complain. I mean, it was a time for us to just pause and recess and reflect and be grateful. You know, living in this country, we're having this space so everyone can kind of, you know, be living in his own space. But on and all, it was a good time. I can't say otherwise.
No, I will say we are very blessed to be here in the UAE, and we've had all the comforts and safety, more importantly. So a big thank you to our leaders in this country for kind of really being for us. And we're here to share your story. You are the founder of Arabian Gazelles. It is honestly the one place where women have come together, not only to network, but there's a common passion, and that is fast cars and supercars. I want to start when this all began, because it is a very particular, niche to really have that adrenaline rush to drive. Did you always have that?
I always had it.
From a young age?
Yes.
Really?
I used to steal my brother's cars and you know, put Barbies driving the cars. No, it's always been there, and I picked it up when I moved to Dubai. And you know, it's a passion that is really embedded in me, and thankfully, I got married to someone who's not into cars. so that, you know, he helped me into really living this passion. How? So he was the one.
How is the question? Because let's talk about your husband.
Yes.
And we talk about this all the time, is that we find that men always have an external outlet. So just like women, they're working, or whether they're being at home or working, and they come home and their extra time is essentially family time. They don't really have an outlet where they're expressing, whether it's sport or just kind of an external hobby. And men seem to always be able to just work, put a little bit of family time in, and then golf
Divide their time,
golf or tennis, or they find this passion.
Yes.
Your husband's passion was
golfing.
He's an avid golfer. He's very well known in this region, as well as being one of the top golfers in the region. When was that pivotal point where you realized that you wanted to explore your passion?
Well, listen, I was jealous of him, I have to say that. You know, the way that he could, as you said, you know, divide his time between his work, family, and that golfing outlet. So he was coming home happier, and I was like, and I was working and taking care of the kids. The passion is there, but it's buried, you know. So I thought, you know what, you know, stop being jealous of him and really, you know, start living your passion. And he was, you know, helping. He helped me doing that, because he was the one receiving all the invite for automotive events. And he goes like, oh, you know what, Hanan, this is your thing, so you should go. And before, I was, you know, kind of putting it on the back burner, like, I can't, I have work, I have kids. But then, you know, I realized that you can't be fully happy, and you can't give happiness if you're not yourself satisfied, you know. So I started thinking inwards, you know, and really thinking that I should be, you know, happy in order for me to make people around me happy as well. So I started being selfish, I have to say. You know?
That's it.
I don't know if this is the word.
Selfish is a good thing. I mean, it could be. It doesn't need to have a negative connotation. It's really about self-love.
Yes,
right,
absolutely.
and fulfilling yourself.
Yeah. So I started taking up his offers, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going for it. And this is how it really started, because when I used to go for those events, I was shocked.
Were you the only female?
By the lack of women around, you know, and that every time I was going, they would think I'm there to be, you know, a passenger or someone's girlfriend, a wife, whatever, you know, not there to drive. So in the beginning, you know, I was happy explaining, no, you know, I'm the one driving and so forth and so on. But then I thought, this is not right. They should not just see a woman and thinking that's it. She's just here to look pretty on passenger seat, you know.
So was that moment the aha moment as an entrepreneur, where you're kind of like, I see a niche in the market and I want to change?
100%. It's really a growing frustration with the existing landscape. And as you said, this is where I thought, you know, I have to do something about it. I have to change this. So this is how Arabian Gazelle was born. Yeah.
So Arabian Gazelles was born. And I always speak to entrepreneurs because there's always that aha moment. When they look back, there's always a very pivotal moment where they make that conscious decision to take a risk into starting something new. Yeah. So Arabian Gazelles was born. And then how did you start finding did you just kind of look in your phone book and start noticing people with sports cars, your friends who had?
Yeah. Well, it started with my closest neighbors and friends who also had the supercars, but never had the avenue or the platform to really live their passion. So I thought I'll bring them in and start whatever I'm doing alone. I'll bring them along, you know, and see how they
came along for the ride. Yeah, literally,
yeah. So from 2-3 members now, we are more than 100 ladies, all owners of supercars and passionate about driving. Yeah.
Well, I've been with you on several of your excursions, and I will say all of them have, which I find was really interesting, not only a space for women to network and meet, so they all have this common passion, but they were really kind of learning. It was content-driven time. So you were learning whether it was about tires, whether it was visiting beautiful Sheikh palaces, and you know, having exclusive access to see their cars. We did a trip to the Louvre, so there was this learning element as well. How do you curate your experiences?
That's the difficult part, actually. But basically, we try to do, you know, different experiences. So it ranges from, you know, charity drives to weekends away with the family. Now we're including the guys because we have to.
She's like, we have to. We don't really have a choice.
Because most of our drive happen on weekends.
Yeah.
As I understand, you know, they all have partners, and I don't want to take this time away from the family. So from time to time, though we keep the DNA of the club as women only, we do accept them on a couple of drives. So we do that. We do, as you said, workshops, we do drag races, we do track days. So it's really, everybody finds what they want in those activities. Yeah. And again, I have the support of different sponsors who understand this passion that we have, and they're there to help us live it.
So you said the word understand, and I want to pull that out of your conversation because you have single-handedly changed the way the automotive industry looks at women. Usually when a female would walk into a showroom, they really wouldn't give her that time of day because you know,
they can't get past the gender.
Yeah, they can't get past the gender. You know, is that woman really going to drive that supercar, that McLaren, or whatever it is? Yeah. Do they know the engine? Can they afford it? Do they know the horsepower?
Can they drive it?
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
So many tiring cliche and you know, all these perceptions and ideas that they have that women can't drive, and you know, they push all these what I call mommy's car or pink it and shrink it car, you know? And they think every time they see a woman coming into a showroom, it's, you know, for a family car. You know, they start now really listening to what she wants, not pushing what they want to sell. You know, so no, I've seen the change. We've seen the changes. I mean, we've been invited as a group to different panel discussion, to roundtable, you know, with manufacturers to see firsthand the prototype of a car and give our opinions. Yeah. So basically, the club or the platform gave us a voice that we didn't have before, you know. I remember
and
when
it's amazing, actually, they're listening.
Yeah. No, I remember when I first started, you know, first meeting was like, okay, and I was looking for sponsor to help me create those experiences we were talking about. The first thing he said was, okay, tell me about your Jumeirah Janes, which, you know, the term itself is so demeaning. He already, you know, had this idea of these women who make up the Arabian Gazelle are, you know, women sitting doing nothing. You know, so.
When really that's not the case. You have some of the most incredible females in the corporate ladder. They're just super successful.
Really everything. And I'm saying even housewife, mothers, I mean, it counts for 2 jobs for me.
100%. Yeah.
So it's really this idea again of seeing women with this love of supercar as something that they always question this passion, or they used to. I mean, it's less now. But having said that, you know, the more I see these people who are like having doubts about the club, the happier I get, because, you know, you win them.
And you're changing their perception. And also you're changing like the way the industry is, really, because already they're partnering up with you to get an understanding of what these women want. The women have the spending power now. So they are super successful women. I know a lot of the females that are a part of the club are just, I mean, so well-rounded. They're running corporations, they have families, they are the ultimate superwoman. And so you have these industry leaders coming to you really wanting to understand what a woman wants, and you've given that to them.
And not only because, okay, now they can afford those cars, but even if she's not the one buying, the influence on the decision-making process, you know, is 80% down to the woman. We decide which car comes to the garage.
And which color, and exactly.
And all of that.
Of course.
So we've been overlooked, and I feel forever, you know, until recently. I mean, now that they are taking notice, and they are listening, and they are helping us, helping them. You know what I mean? So
of course. It's really interesting. A few years ago, I worked on this women's empowerment program with She's Mercedes. And it was the same, it was kind of the same points that they were really, women were frustrated about, because they wouldn't get attention when they walked into Mercedes. And we really worked on changing that perception that you can go in and you can customize anything in that car. And it was really made for the woman. It was everything from, you know, the depth of for the, you know, the pram chair at the back to the colors, the fabric types. It was really well thought out, and you see this change happening, and you've really been at a pivotal role to kind of create awareness.
But again, you see, maybe if She's Mercedes, it works for them. But like in the world of supercars, we are not asking you have to make a supercar for women. You know? But like when you make it, you know, market it for both
genders, of course.
Don't don't overlook us. So yeah.
So you've created waves in the automotive industry. When it comes to media, you have been featured in American Vogue, which is incredible. And that was such an incredible experience. I mean, I was a part of that one to team up with Moda Operandi, and we added a little bit of fashion and flair to that. And of course, CNN has covered you as well. What does that feel like when you kind of have that recognition? Do you kind of pinch yourself, or are you like...
I still do.
Or are you like, oh, no, I got it?
No, I still do. But I understand also why they thought this is such an amazing concept, being not only the first supercar club for women and born in this part of the world. So to that, really, I can't think of any other place I would have started a club like this than in Dubai, where really I feel we are empowered to do whatever we want. You know? So again, thanking the leadership of the country, but again, you know, challenging the status quo, you know, when something that you're not happy with, or something that is not right in your views, you just have to go for it and trust yourself. You know?
I love that, because I feel like with all entrepreneurs, you really have to listen to your gut and follow it, and just go through it and make it into a reality, rather than wishing you'd done it. So.
Exactly, or waiting for somebody else to change that, you know, for you. So yeah, this is what
does your daughter have that supercar gene that she wants?
No,
that adrenaline rush?
Yeah.
No.
I wish you. You know, I think this generation is moving to electric cars and all that.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing.
And there are supercars also in the making, which are, electric and all. So it's all good. So my son is there.
Is there?
Yeah,
and you have a really nice collection of cars. Do you ever? I want to ask you. Do you ever sell them? And which one's your favorite?
To answer the first question, no.
No. Keep them all. Okay,
no. My favorite, it's a hard question actually. It's like, okay, the one I have. I mean, my favorite one is Morgan Aero Super Sport. So it's a special one. It's my baby. No, it's one of a kind. So real hat turner. I love it because it looks classic, but it's a modern car. That's
your favorite. Yeah. It's like putting on a pair of jeans, like whatever you're kind of in the mood for, right? Like
exactly.
that day.
That's true.
And what is the secret to taking care of a car like that?
Really, you have to keep on all your
the maintenance.
Yes, no, absolutely.
Yeah. And what's the next car on your wish list?
Can I just skip this question?
Listen, the wish list can always be changing. Knowing you'll get it in like in a week.
Exactly.
So yeah, the wish list will always change. But what are some of the cars that you're super interested to see on the market?
The Tesla Roadster.
Yeah.
Something interesting to see. But really, when they ask me what's your favorite, again, I feel like they're all like you can't have a favorite child. You can't have, they're all beautiful metal marvels that you wish you can own them all. Really. But I'm lucky because I get to try, test drive those cars. So that's that.
And what's next for Arabian Gazelles?
What's next for Arabian Gazelles? So we are actually working on a TV show. I can't tell you more about it now, but it's exciting and it kept me busy during the lockdown.
Good.
So a lot of people were like, Hanan, how are you coping with this? And I'm like, just fine. I had
something to keep you busy, which is great.
Yeah, your mindset has to change, So then you have to think, you focus on what you have in hand and try to, move on while standing still, With something that I discovered, actually. You can still move forward by standing still.
Well, one of our guests was talking about, taking advantage in a crisis. Don't let it stop you. Really use that moment of disruption to really change your model and look where you can amplify areas of your strengths and where you can look at your weaknesses and really change that. So actually, sometimes crisis is good.
That's true.
So I did want to ask you, well, I know this question you get asked a lot. Will you, I don't want to say franchise the model, but are you going to have different countries have different groups of Arabian Gazelles?
See,
because you're really talking to a global woman.
Yeah, and we receive a lot of requests actually from these women on how they can join the club.
Yeah.
So see, our mission really is to connect all these women who have this same passion for supercars and create this global network of empowered women. We can all pull in our forces to create change, and to push, all this issue on gender equality, on any issue that we want to highlight. We have, this power of a global network of like-minded women. So that's the key, really.
So we see groups popping up in the U.S. and Europe, all over?
All over.
That's so exciting.
We have to just think about the name, because Arabian Gazelles is really, the gazelle that live in this part of the world, So, but the request from these women all over the world on how to join the club is just, just amazing. They just want to be part of this movement, really. And again, I want to say that it's not a sexist anti-men movement. We're just,
following your passion.
Following your passion. And not really following, but like taking our passion with us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So So we are just, we have the same passion as they do, and they will just have to share it with us, to share this space with us. That's it.
I love that. So I want to let you end with 3 tips for women that you think are the secrets to your success. And she's so beautiful, so if you want to throw in some beauty tips, you're welcome to throw that in there.
Beauty tips from Rosemin. See, I don't want to sound corny, but really is to believe in yourself and not let anyone put roadblocks for you. So once you have this belief in yourself, you just push forward, no matter what. So this is the key, and I don't know what to say. That's what I think it is. Yeah, just self-belief.
Self-belief, self-love, and self-belief. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, before you go, our motto here at Indigo Living is living beautifully. What does that statement and motto mean to you?
Living beautifully, living gratefully. I think with a grateful heart.
Yeah.
Yes. When we are grateful, no matter what happens, we can still see the beauty in it. So yeah, I would say gratefully.
I love that. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having me.
You've definitely inspired so many of us, and you've truly made a change, which I think is the most important. And just following your passion, making it a reality, and really balancing it out with your husband. I think that was the key, because I think a lot of women are just scared to say they need that hour, whereas men can easily say, I need to be on the golf course for an hour, I need to be on the tennis courts for an hour, and they find it through sport, and driving a sports car is that as well. It is a sport. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
I hope this interview has truly inspired you. Definitely follow Arabian Gazelles and keep track of Hanan's whereabouts, because there is a TV show in the making. You just heard it here first time at Indigo Living, and we're so happy you're here. Thank you for sharing your story. And join us next week till we introduce our next female entrepreneur.